Alrighty. Welcome back to the live stream. I'm your host, NOVAtazz. This is, I don't even know the name of my own show.
Garage
Garage
Talk
Talk
with
with
Friends.
Friends. Um, but anyway, this may or may not be one of the last ones that I have with friends, except for you guys in the chat because of YouTube's Hangouts on Air disappearing at the beginning of August. I obviously do not still have a working modern computer to be able to keep up with everything of the new demands. And we have a mad echo coming from you, Chris.
Yeah, I'm
Trying to fix it. Hey, Ignited, welcome into the live stream. Well, actually, we can wait a couple minutes. I'll wait 5 minutes into the stream before I do that. Oh, that's horrible, Chris.
Yeah, it's feeding through from the tablet. Come on, shut off.
Turn down the volume on the tablet.
I have both.
All right, good.
We can hope.
Alrighty, man. We know you do the best you can. Travel in the country. What was that?
That was the other radio.
Oh, we know you do the best you can considering you're traveling around, supplying the country with their goods.
Yeah, just wish someone would fall off the tailboard every once in a while. Because summer weather is here, and some of them steaks look kind of. That one looks a little bad or something there. I have a grill under the bunk, and no one takes the hint. What do you do?
No, nobody ever tips the truck driver, right?
No.
All right. Can't say never.
Not politely. Let's put it that way.
Oh well,
I get lots of tips. I get lots of tips every day telling me how number one I am. If that counts for anything.
Well, you are the number one.
Yeah, but
all right. So anybody who's new to the live stream, which I don't think anybody that's commented currently is technically new. We do have Ignited Garage. He has a import. I think it is imports, right? Pretty sure. I have so many YouTubers that I follow that I have a hard time remembering who is who by necessarily their YouTube name. Oh. But we have Ignited Garage in here, Mrs. Formula, which is Chris's better half. Chris in the chat is Firebird Nation's Car Club. He is a budding YouTube channel star, though he has been with Instagram and Facebook for a while. I'm trying to find my wireless charger for some reason. I'll deal with that later. I'm just going to charge my phone. But anyway, he is joining us tonight, as almost always, from his the cab of his truck, where he gets to see the world one haul at a time, right?
Pretty much. One dotted line after another. The only time you see solids when it hits a construction zone.
Oh, those are never good, though.
Yeah, like I said, we always say, everybody says, well, what's it like? What's it like? All the weather says we have 2 seasons, winter and construction.
Sometimes you have them both at once.
Yeah. Yeah, if you run down south in the winter, you got both. For sure, but it's a never-ending adventure.
So we have a couple of good topics we can hit on today. We have obviously Corvette's big reveal that they did on Thursday. And we also have Ford GT, the GT 500 with the no manual transmission. Well, the Corvette doesn't have a manual transmission in it either, even though technically
the dual clutch automated manual or something like that. Right. You can manually shift it without throwing a lever.
Right. Technically, it is still a manual gearbox. It's just controlled by the computer. Versus an automatic is different because an automatic has a bunch of clutch packs that work together to shift the gears. Whereas this is still actually a geared transmission, with solid gears in it. It's just computer controlled. So, no, it's not as fun as being able to shift it yourself. But as far as performance-wise goes, of like not having the torque converter and stuff like that, it still works like a manual transmission.
Now, would it still have a more positive engagement with less power loss because of the fact that it has the dual clutch design versus the torque converter?
Well, I mean, it's not like, I mean, if you watch Just a Six, he's got a dual clutch on his manual Mustang. Oh, excuse me, I'm pouring my beverage of choice at the moment. There we go. So, I mean, it's going to work just like that, except for the fact instead of you manually putting it in gear, it has an actuator that does it for you. And I can see the benefits in the Corvette, because with where the transmission is in the Corvette, it's not like it's like right in the transmission tunnel, where your shifter could be like right above the transmission. I mean, you're going to have a manual linkage all the way from up where the driver sits all the way back to where the transmission is, because I do believe the transmission is behind the engine in that Corvette, which means your manual linkage has to go out around the engine before it even gets to the transmission. I mean, that makes sense why that they're going to go with the with a computer controlled transmission.
Yeah, it's basically a computer controlled shift block type.
Right, but it's still, I mean, in the end of all circumstances, it's still technically a manual transmission.
Technology, computers, I mean, something more to mess up or go somewhat haywire. I'm sure, I mean, they've had a great extensive testing period as researching. I mean, I'm sure they've been working on this car for probably the last year and a half or 2 years.
No, I bet you this car has been worked on since probably either the beginning or pretty much since the beginning or pretty close to the beginning of the C7.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure they probably wanted the C7 to be mid-engine, and obviously they because of everything going on, they couldn't get it in time.
Correct.
So they went conventional with the C7, but you know what I mean. I think that they were working on this C8 platform the whole time the C7 was out.
8 years minimum, you think then?
Well, I mean, technically, they've been working on the mid-engine platform since the 1960s.
Yeah, if you go back to Duntoff's original idea and design, yes.
So they've been thinking
interesting
for years.
Review that they did where they did the two mid-engine type race cars in the 60s that he actually raced and played around with. And I mean, that was history I didn't know anything about, which it'd be really neat to be able to go see some of the, it'd be awesome, man. I don't care which car manufacturer it is. Everybody has some kind of exotic, fancy design that, especially back in that time. Now the biggest thing you have, you got a couple auto shows and you have the SEMA show in Vegas. Just to take those cars and those concepts from back in the day or whatever.
And now that we have the technology,
do a tour.
Bring them to life.
Yeah, either one, bring them to life, or two, just do a tour. Put something out there, even if it's the way they did the review here of a history type thing, just to show the public, this is some of the kind of the stuff that we were thinking of back then.
Yeah,
and what we designed, it was in a prototype design, but it was a running, driving prototype. It wasn't just a clay model or pictures or, they do a lot of everything today with the computer and everything. I don't know how much actual clay models they get into building now versus all the computerized designing they can do. But
I think
some of the stuff that they've done or still do, it'd just be amazing to see.
I'm pretty sure. I think right now it's not a hand-done clay model. I do believe they have almost like a CNC machine that will literally sculpt the car out of clay.
Yeah, much faster.
Yeah, much faster. So they still have a real-life model of the car before they ever put it together, because you never know what something's going to look like
until you look at it.
Until it's sitting in front of you. No matter what it looks like on a computer, until it's sitting in front of you, you don't have any clue.
The biggest untested surprise you can have in making life is something you have a physical hand in making is if you have a kid. Because until you hold it, you
I
have
don't know,
no
man.
clue.
Them 3D or 4D images they have out now are pretty damn close.
Yeah, they're. I got a niece that was pregnant. She's like, "What do you want?" I said, "Nope." What do you mean? I said, "Man, back in the day when I did all that stuff, says we didn't know what it was. You didn't care. All you cared about was
making sure
it was
healthy.
born. It was an uneventful pregnancy, and it was healthy. You know, let God lay it in your lap what it was, and run with it."
Pretty much.
Yeah. Now it's like, it's almost like all the technology now, what they can go in and look at, and the pictures they can get. Without physically doing like buying a car, you go on a computer program and you can I want this. It's kind of the same way that was. Well, hey, you take it, do a tummy tuck there, knock a little, your hips a little wide, fix that thing up before it comes out. We want a thoroughbred, It's just that, in the medical field, it's amazing where they can do stuff like it's like, okay.
But so what is your thoughts on this Corvette? I mean, now granted, now it's been a few days, and I'm sure on YouTube itself it's pretty played out. But I've been pretty much ignoring a lot of just a few people's videos. But if I were to sit there and watch everybody's, I'd be burnt out.
Oh yeah, me myself, I like it, but I've always liked the Vet. I used to work a job where we knew a couple guys that are in the National Corvette Restore Society, so we were always, and it was nothing to get a body, a shell, a car, whatever, and move it in the 50s and the 60s with the C1, like the C1s through the C3s. Some of the C3s, mostly it was C1s and C2s that we would move. So, I mean, and that's back when I started driving. I was a 20-year-old hot-headed gearhead with a lead foot, and some guy says, here's the keys to my $100,000 Corvette. Don't scratch the paint, but drive it in your trailer and go deliver it. So.
Well, I don't think $100,000 was. I think they were probably what, like $20,000-$30,000 back then.
Yeah, back when I started, you had some that were up there. They were rare, but I mean, they were pristine, almost nothing. Basically garage gems. Someone brought it home and put it in, climate controlled storage, and the thing looked like it rolled right off the factory line. Basically encapsulated in a vacuum free, dust free environment type thing. It's like, it's amazing. But I like this one. Now people think, oh well, this is the first mid-engine Corvette. Okay, this is the first mid-engine Corvette that's going to be released to the public. They built one before.
It's not the first mid-engine Corvette. They built a few of them. They just were concept names, and they weren't given the actual title Corvette.
Yeah, well, they got one that they built. I mean, I don't know what they used it for, but it was in the mid-'80s, which I just actually watched. Someone did a tour through the Corvette Museum.
In fact, so they had that one. They had that one actually in the
earlier. Yeah, and then
in that video before the Corvette.
It was in the museum. It's like, so.
Right. No, but in the beginning of like I watched part of. Go ahead.
Yeah, the beginning video.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
They did cover it in there. But again, I mean, it becomes what is feasible to mass market. I'm absolutely amazed and stunned that the car is under 60 grand.
Yeah, the base model being released at under, and he's not going to say, I mean, it could be $59,995. It's still under 60.
It's under 60. It's still a $60,000 mid-engine exotic.
Base Corvette.
I don't want to call it a sports car because, I mean, technically it isn't. It's not a sports car. It's an exotic. No. It's a supercar. But it's only 60.
Yeah, the waste you anyway.
I mean, that's,
if it works as well as what they're touting, I mean, kudos to the engineers.
Yeah, I mean, that's like buying.
They had such a big rift.
Right. That's like buying a supercar at BJ's food outlet.
Yeah, exactly. And I think It's going to take a bit to get used to, but I think everybody's because I mean they had the same thing when they redesigned the.
Oh, nobody.
I mean, and I got to guess. I think it was the C5 when they did away with the fold over headlights and they brought
God, people had a shit
the outside. Yeah. I mean, they released that car, and I mean, basically the Corvette world was like, "What were you thinking? You're out of your mind. You're stupid. We don't like it. We don't want it. You're killing tradition." And look at where it's at now.
Yeah, you're killing tradition, but the problem is you kill tradition and you increase performance because now you don't have that whole assembly sitting up front there, and it's cars more streamlined. And then they went to the C7, which actually is my favorite car since the refresh of the 4th gen.
Yeah, they're
the second half of the 4th gen where they got rid of that mid body molding that went all the way around the car. When they got rid of that, I liked that 4th gen. So the late 4th gen, especially like the what is it? The
ZR1.
Yeah, the ZR1s. That car was so freaking sweet. I do like the Grand Sport too from that time, the blue with the white.
And for that time period with the emissions, hopscotching, hula hooping, whatever you want to call it, that the government was putting them under.
Yep.
I mean, they built some amazing machines with just the perform. From a performance standpoint, for what the constraints they were under, is nothing short of a miracle.
Imagine sticking one of those new school motors in that the ZR1 from the early 90s.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Oh my God.
everybody hates the C4, but the body lines on that when they brought that car out, I thought were just beautiful because it was just aerodynamic and streamlined.
It was a very pretty car. Just the engines held that thing back so bad. I'm not talking about like the engine in the special cars, but like the engines in the regular production cars.
The stock production cars were helpless.
Yes. And we have Grimm's Auto Service that has joined the chat. Welcome aboard. We're going to start with Corvette talk, but it's not going to be Corvette talk the whole time. So if you want to stick around and hang out and bullshit with us, feel free to chit chat in the comments, and we will use the comments also to guide where the conversation in the live stream goes. So I have no set course. This is just our first topic to discuss back and forth.
I mean, now overall, I mean, when they released it and brought it on the stage, I think they hit a home run with it because they've spent a boatload designing this car on the hopes that people are going to a true 100% Corvette purist is going to embrace it and get one just from the fact that it has the Corvette nameplate.
Well, the thing is the people that they're going to piss off with that design, unfortunately, and I'm not necessarily getting any younger
any
either.
Car line.
Well, anyway,
the traditionalists,
the traditional
old school traditionalists,
they're dying off.
Yeah.
So I mean, they can't keep sitting here and appeasing 60 and 80-year-old men that are, they might buy the cars, but they're not the ones that are going to be driving them because they're getting to the point to where they're not going to use the cars that they would have, the way they would have 20, 30 years ago. Because they just aren't in that part of their life where they're going to go 180 miles an hour, without, hurting themselves. So, exactly. I mean, it doesn't...
Although, I mean, I have a guy that I know that works out of the same place I do. I mean, God bless him. I mean, the man has been trucking, I've got to guess, at least 60 years.
All right.
He's got to be in his mid-80s, if not his early 90s. I'm not exactly sure how old he is. But he went out and bought a brand new ZR1 last year.
But I mean, at that point, is it just to have, or was he actually?
He still runs. He went out and bought it because he wanted one. He's got his own trucking company. He has for years. He went out and bought one. Now it's a good thing they know him down where he lives at because he took it out and was strolling down Interstate 77 one morning, early morning, hardly any traffic, and when they finally got him pulled over at the coffee shop, and they're kind of talking to the guy's like, "Do you have any idea what you're doing?" I said, "Yeah, I was testing my new car. It's a Sunday morning. I had to stretch my legs. I was trying to beat the church traffic." The guy said, "Well, I think you did that. Do you have any idea how fast you was going when you went by me?" And he goes, "Well, no, not exactly. I was a little busy driving. I wasn't paying attention to the needle down there. Why?" I said, "Let's just say I clocked you north of 170 and you were going away from me." and God bless Al, he looks at the top left. Well, I guess they built a fast little baby for me, that did they? He's always been that way, if it went fast, he had one.
I cannot say that I have necessarily ever obeyed the speed limits either. So
yeah,
I mean, I'm not stupid about it. I'm not gonna. Yeah, the thing is I'm also not stupid about it. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and put somebody else's life in danger and speed to the point to where I'm causing other people to have to change their driving habits.
Exactly.
If somebody else has to swerve or brake or speed up because of me, well, then I'm not behaving. I'm not being very respectful for the other people on the road. But you know what? If I have an open road and I have the ability to go a little faster, can't say that pedal doesn't go a little further south on the floorboard.
Yeah.
So
and there's places you can do that, but yeah, I mean, for what to go out and rent a racetrack to be able to play around with something like that is just it's astronomical now.
Well, I mean, I know that they have track days and different things to go out and go have fun. I mean, they have it up at Pocono and different places. But still, I mean, they still don't let you
got to get there.
And they also still don't let you push the car.
Exactly. We have our so-called quote-unquote safety equipment that you have to have.
Well, yeah.
Which, granted, their insurance requires that. That's understandable. But
the other thing is who wants to go out and go buy a brand new Corvette and have to throw a roll cage in it just to be able to do what the Corvette can do out of the box?
Exactly. Nobody's
just to be allowed to go do it. I mean, I think that some of these cars, like the Demon and things like that, if the car is capable of going past the limits of what tracks are allowing, maybe it should come with a roll cage from the factory.
That would be a very good idea.
You know what I mean? A roll cage really built right into the chassis.
They'll come with it from now. I know like the Roush Stage Mustangs, Roush Racing builds. I think their top 2 stages. Okay, you can order it. That's great. You can pay for it. That's fine. But they will not release it to you until you go through their performance driving show to show that you can handle the car.
Oh yeah, they don't want somebody getting a death trap on their hands. I mean, you look at, that's why a lot of the Copart builds are so popular. I mean, just look at it. I mean, DIY Gang just picked up a Trackhawk that's completely obliterated in the front end. And why? Because somebody bought it, obviously probably didn't know what they were doing, and wrecked it. How many times do you see these videos of people getting in the vehicles and not knowing what they're doing with it?
Oh, I love the crash and fail segment videos that come up on YouTube that hit. It's like,
I do the
owners
point.
Get dumb. Challenger owners lose the challenge.
Yeah, I mean, I do to a point until I sit back and think of, you know what? I would have loved to have been able to play with that car and to be able to enjoy it, and I wouldn't have put it into a telephone pole.
Yeah, or ditch or a cornfield or any of the other things
you have all of this money to be able to afford this car, or or maybe you didn't have the money but you bought the car anyway. But you didn't take the time to realize what a high horsepower rear wheel drive car does. And you're just relying on the computer to be able to fix your ignorance. And eventually the computer runs out of skill.
That don't always work either.
Like I said, sometimes the computer runs out of skill as well. And, it's just one of those things. It's just like in the union, the union can only do so much to cover your ass when you screw up. It's not meant to completely erase your mistake. It's there to help fix your mistake if within reason.
Yeah. Thank God computers in cars don't lose patience with some of the drivers for some of the stupid shit they do.
I know, right? I'm actually just glad. I'm actually glad
right,
my car. I'm glad that my
we're
car.
Done with this, and we're done with you. You're talking on the phone. You're doing whatever. You're not taking care of me. I'm pulling over the side of the road, shutting you down, and calling the cops.
I'm gonna pull over the side of the road, and kick you out. I'm gonna drive my ass home.
Eject.
I'm gonna drive my ass home before you freaking total me.
you can go a step further. Say, you know who my hero was? I might be only 2 years old, but my hero car I watched reruns was Kid, because he could kick out Michael Guy out of the seat every time he got cocky. Eject gone. Which, in hindsight, that could be, a very funny conversation topic, and it is funny to think of. But in reality, it's not that far out of the.
No, it's basically
they could do something like that.
The thing is the next generation, the next big change in our cars. You look at it. Google already has them. The autonomous. I mean, they're autonomous. They're just not going to be like Kit, because Kit basically still lets you play with him. These new cars are just like, no, you know what? You sit back. I'm just going to drive my damn self.
Yeah. It's coming, unfortunately.
That would be the attention-seeking self-driving car. You aren't paying attention to the self-driving cars. He says need to kick you out. That's the attention-seeking self-driving car. Hey, you back there, no sleeping. We're still driving. You need to pay attention to me.
Yeah, she's. I think she's still in a state of shock.
Who? Mrs. Formula?
Yes, Miss Formula. I think she's still in a state of shock.
Why?
She'll be in a worse state of shock when she goes, well, I shared the pictures in
yesterday. Your new toy.
Yeah.
You're picking up more toys faster than I'm picking up freaking bad habits.
It's actually sitting in her driveway. It's going to be used to pull the car trailer out there.
Yeah. So what is it exactly?
And it's got. It's a 2011 Dodge. Now that's what the dealer told me. The model was a 2011 Dodge Bighorn Laramie Edition, 2500 HD, 4-door cab, 4-wheel drive, leather, everything.
Short bed or long bed?
Yeah, it's.
Oh, we're losing.
And it was, I think, 122,000 miles or somewhere, 123,000 miles, somewhere around there, and they were asking 23.
What is it? Is it a long bed or a short bed?
6'4"
So standard.
I mean, so technically it's short bed.
It's standard bed.
Yeah.
It's a short bed.
Power back window, power mirrors, heated seats, air conditioned seats or cooled seats, however you want to call it. Power seat on the driver's side with two driver memory, 5.7 liter Hemi, 5-speed auto, electric transfer case, and all the other bells and whistles. It's an Alpine stereo system that they have in it with a built-in DVD player and backup camera, and then there's a flip down.
What are those?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's got the flip down screen for the back seat when you're driving, or it has on it where you can hook an Xbox or any of that kind of stuff up to the audio ports in the audio and video ports in the back, and use that screen for whatever you got, and then you got the wireless headphones in the back of the front seats for that system in the back.
So your kids, you have them, but
fancy.
Not that you have them, but if you had kids, they could entertain themselves back there without bothering the shit out of you.
Yeah.
See, now mine's a 2001.
My thought to that was the greatest thing they made was limousines, because you could always put that kid-proof window up. You just hit the button and slide the glass up behind the driver's seat and forget they're back there once they're seatbelted in. Where are they going to go? I could never find a limo to try that, though.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is you have all of those bells and whistles. Now I have a 2001. Okay, basically, that truck's almost 20 years old now. It has the heated mirrors, power mirrors. It has it has air conditioning, all that fun stuff. It's got the power windows, and like I said, this is a 2001. It has, I think, just about every. It had the upgraded stereo in it. It had the stupid storage compartment thingy underneath the back seat, all of that stuff. So I mean, it had a shit ton of bells and whistles. Plus, it's also the 5.9 liter, which is what, the 360.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a pretty decent truck for being 20 years old. Versus my old truck, the green one that I had, literally had no frills on it whatsoever. It was
a work truck.
Yeah, and that one was bare bones.
This stupid thing even has a heat. I mean, it's got leather wrapped steering wheel, which is kind of commonplace in an upscale vehicle. But the steering wheel itself is heated as well. A little button under that shit for a heated steering wheel.
I'll tell you what, I couldn't tell you what I would give for my Nova steering wheel to have been heated, because it is a Grant leather wrapped aluminum wheel. That sucker was ice freaking cold in the winter. I mean, like, literally, you could not hold that steering wheel with your bare hands.
Yeah,
I can't tell you how many times in the winter I was either driving with my hoodie over top of my hands and on the steering wheel, or had a pair of gloves on, because you could not hold that steering wheel. I've even had the point to where I had to grab a shirt that I had laying in the car to put over top of the steering wheel to drive the car. Because they didn't make your hands numb. It literally made them sting. It was that cold. And in the summer, it was the opposite. It would heat up like a hot iron.
There's no wind.
If you did not park that car in the shade in the summer, you were regretting it when you got back to the car. And you never shut that car up with the windows up. Never. I always had them rolled down like 2 inches at least, because otherwise that car would literally bake you out of the car. Because there's no not even from factory. From factory, you had all the insulation in the car, like in the ceiling above the header panel, and there was no insulation in that car whatsoever. When I first did that car, I pulled all of the insulation, because it was all old and saturated with all kinds of who knows what. It was just it had to go. Well, I wasn't
time to replace.
Dude, that was like probably well over 100 pounds of insulation in that car.
Oh wow!
There was insulation everywhere, and it's heavy. It's not like the Dynamat today. That you can buy a whole box to do a whole car that maybe weighs 10 pounds, if that. These old insulation. I mean, the Trans Am's the same way, though there's no insulation in the Trans Am right now either. But yeah, I pull it out. I mean, yeah, it blocks out some of the noise from the engine and stuff like that, and I guess it keeps some of the heat and the cold out, but I'm not driving it because I want to be comfortable.
Yeah, you want to experience the car, so.
Yeah, I don't mind feeling the floor vibrate. I don't mind hearing the engine.
The noise.
Yeah, I don't mind any of that. So, and besides, that's less weight in the car. Not that those cars weigh a whole bunch anyway. I think my Nova weighs like 31,000 pounds before I started pulling everything out of it. So, I mean, I doubt my car weighs very much now.
2,800?
Maybe.
2,900 maybe?
Maybe. We'll see how much it weighs when I stuff one of those new modern drivetrains in it. So, yeah, I'm still looking at trying to find myself a wrecked Camaro with the blower from factory.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's the 5th gen or the 6th gen Camaro, but I want one of those ones with the port with the blower right from the factory. So I want to snag the engine and the transmission, and obviously whatever wiring is needed, or maybe have a standalone system. and drop one of those in the Nova, and that's going to be my toy. The TA is still going to stay old school, and then the Nova will be my new school retro looking, because I'm still going to go with that late
kick-ass red light
70s.
sleeper.
Yeah, I want to go with that late 70s, early 80s, nose down, ass up in the air, drag car look.
Yeah.
Little tiny skinnies in the front and big ass freaking meats in the back. So, but you know,
Also,
700.
when they ask you why you built it to look like that, says the back dumper on the ground when I kicked everyone's ass leaving the light.
I mean, I want to go with that old school look, but I don't necessarily. I want to have the ability to. I want to have the ability to get up and go when I want to, dependably. And you know, as much as I like the old school motors, nobody wants to watch me build another 350 or a 454 big block carbureted engine. You know, that's not gonna get me the attention that I want with that car. You know, I'll build the TA to the point to where my dream build for the TA, I'll build that the way I want it. And I can't say that the way I'm going to build the Nova isn't my dream way either. It wasn't my original intent with that car, but you know, if I'm going to build it with an LS motor, I want to build it with an LS motor that I want. And a 5.3, I don't want a 5.3. You know, to me, being old school, 5.3 that's a 305. You know, I don't want to build an LS motor with a freaking little small block in it. You know, if I'm going to build a modern engine, I want a big block. So I want the 6.0, you know, at least. So at the very least, it'll be a 6.0 LS motor.
It was one of those little Polaris slingshots.
Oh yeah, we saw one of those this weekend.
I haven't test driven one yet. I'd like to.
Chat's kind of quiet today. Actually, my whole live stream's kind of quiet today.
Yeah, well, your little hiccup ain't gonna help that either.
No. I think I might end up having to start my live stream at like 10 because I think too many people get on at 9. And I don't have enough people.
That is one thing. I mean, there's probably half a dozen at least I can think of that all start up around 8:30 to 9 o'clock.
Yeah, you know, the thing is what kind of irritates me with that is a lot of them were ones that used to watch my stream.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Joey, you got, you know, a few of the other ones that literally started doing live streams when they started getting really popular. And they were people, you know, like, you know, you used to watch my stream. You couldn't have started yours at a different time. So that way that people that are watching my stream or whatever don't get pulled away. But, you know, it is what it is. It's a free internet. I can't stop them from having their live stream then. Hey, yeah. Pilot. Yeah. We got our resident Corvette fan here. Pilot's in the chat. The C8, I mean, there's certain angles that I really like that car, and there are certain angles that I really do not like that car. I think Street Speed had a very good point. If you look at the back window, that little quarter window, how it comes up from the bottom to the, you know, to meet the down from the top of the window. I think Street Speed had another good point. I think at the very least, even if it wasn't the full window, if they at least just made the window look like it came down to a point and the two body lines met, you know what I mean? I can understand if they had to leave it the way they did because of like structural integrity. But we've all seen them do it. You know, you can hide the fact that that window isn't all open from the outside by continuing the glass down, but yet still having metal behind part of the glass, just to continue that shape. Because I think that line, that the fact that it comes, if you go from the bottom, that it comes over and then it comes up to meet that sloping down, I think it just breaks up the line of the car. I think that it would. I don't think that I think it would look a lot better if they just came down like this, kind of like well, not much unlike the back window on the TA. You know, it just looks weird.
Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna tweak it with the next one coming. I mean, I
Well,
like the
I'm sure they're
teaser
gonna.
they showed of the race car. You know, the one they had on the track racing. Where the guy pretty much ended their presentation,
I didn't see
and
that.
yeah, it was like right at the end of the video they flashed up like a race car on the track, and he's pretty much, this is just the beginning of greater things to come. And then
Well,
that's
and
where
I
he
think
pretty much
that's
ended the
where.
presentation, invited him on stage.
But the thing is the one thing that they did do a downfall. Okay, they were in competition with things like the Viper. Not that the Viper is anything to sneeze at either, because obviously I'm a big fan of the Viper. Um,
They're fun to drive.
I have not driven one. I want to so bad. That is like my exotic dream car. To me, the Viper is my exotic dream car. Yes, I like Lambos and like Porsches, but if I had to pick a car that would be my first, like let's say I came into a shit ton of money, the first expensive car that I would buy would be a Viper. Not a Lambo, not a Ferrari, not a Porsche, not a Corvette. If I wanted to get myself into that ball game, I would go get myself a Viper. Because they're not practical, they're not convenient, they're not nice, they're not forgiving.
No,
They're just.
they're straight performance car, and you better know how to drive it and
I've got
respect
a
it.
job. I've got a job to do, and you better be able to get me there.
Exactly. I mean,
If you can't,
I
I'm
can
going to
say
cue
that
you
I've
up
been
and spit you
fortunate.
out.
Just from trucking, because the one company I worked at, we'd pick a lot of the cars up, exotics and whatnot, that were at the SEMA show, and take them back to our LA dock for them to ship out to wherever.
Right.
So I got to drive several. What sucked is they wouldn't let us take them out and really see what they do.
Well, no, of course not. It's not your car.
But even our dispatcher would, we hauled this Hummer 8, when the Hummer first came out, this electronics company up by Chicago. This thing had 38 TV screens in it.
That's
I mean,
ridiculous.
anywhere you could put it in, and it was basically to showcase their electronics store and how they could stuff stuff in here, there, and everywhere.
Right.
And the only thing this car did was it was a showpiece for the store. And the guy took his kids to kindergarten in it that owned the store. That was it. Other than that, he didn't drive it.
See, and this is where I just get frustrated with car people, because I understand. Okay, it's cool. It's your car. It's whatever. I'm not going to judge you for what you want to do, but I just sit there and shake my head because I'm like, it's a Hummer. What did you do to it? It now no longer can do its job.
You stuffed it full of electronics.
This thing was meant to be an off-road, beast, and here you just.
Well, they did lift it. I'll give them credit for that. I mean, it was sitting on 44-inch tires.
Yeah, but the thing is, yeah, you can lift something, but it doesn't mean that lift is going to be able to go off-road.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the only person that I've seen take their beauty queen and literally just dunk it into a freaking mud hole was that blonde chick. Has the big white Escalade.
Yeah.
Oh my! I was having a conniption fit. I was like, way to go, way to go. You know what? She's got more balls than half the people that end up in SEMA with those trucks, because she drove that sucker straight from SEMA and dumped it into a fucking mud hole after the show. I was just in fucking shit. Yep. I was like, yes. I mean, if I have any respect, it's for someone that's going to sit there and, yeah, sure, I got a trailer queen, but guess what? I'm not afraid to go freaking mud in it. It washes off.
I had it built, and I'm going to go beat it that she'll can take it.
Exactly.
And that girl beer.
Exactly. I was like, yes, man. You're gonna do it right. Because I was watching her. I was like, I have no respect for you. I have no respect for you. I have no respect. Oh, you're what? Yeah. You're gonna do? Oh my God. Oh damn.
I think the funniest thing I've ever seen of something like that was, and it's another Hummer story. I can't remember what the heck they call it. Yeah, like at a Jeep show or whatever. Well, they got that ramp that they run a set of wheels up to see how far they can go.
It's an articulation ramp.
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. I watched a guy at a jig show one time, like an off-road show, take a Hummer, it'd been lifted, all this and this and that, go up one of them. He got up so far, and then he flopped it because it wouldn't. It just laid it on its side. Well, it didn't articulate. It just. And it did better than stock, but he laid it on its side because he wouldn't stop. It'll take it.
The only reason it did better than stock was because it's got a lift, not because it had more flex. And a lot of the lift kits that I see, yes, they lift the car up, but they do nothing to help
it to flex side to side.
Yeah, they do nothing to help the actual suspension. So, okay, you can now go over big obstacles and roll over.
Yeah, hey, congratulations! You can now go over from a 3-inch log to an 8-inch log. But do that 8-inch log on an angle that has a 12-inch drop on the other side of it, and still keep your wheel in contact.
Exactly. I mean, if you don't lift it and make sure that you have enough body flex in it that you can actually keep all 4 wheels or at least 3 of the wheels on the ground at any given time, because what happens is you end up doing that. The whole point of that articulation lift, you're only supposed to go up until one of your
points of contact.
Until one of your other 3 wheels lifts up off the ground. That is how much flex you have.
Yeah.
And I can tell you what, the Dodge truck has a pretty good amount of flex in it from factory. I can
stop! Quick, stop! I ain't took the Dodge off-road yet. Don't tell her anything. I mean, had it
I have no say in what the 3rd and 4th gen Dodge trucks can do. Mine's a 2nd gen. They built the trucks right in the 2nd generation. I don't know about your mall crawler versions you have in the 3rd and 4th gen. Because honestly, I don't think that they have very good off-road capability at all. Because I've seen them things; they barely lift up off the ground in 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to do.
I have a buddy of mine that's at my work that has like a 4th gen Ram, and his is 4-wheel drive. I can drive up next to it. I guarantee you, mine's at least a foot taller than his is from the bottom of the
stock form.
Huh? Oh, mine's stock. I mean, granted, mine's an off-road edition, but it's still stock. You know, and I haven't lifted it. The only thing that I have done was taken I think it comes with 31, 12 and a half, 10 and a half, 31, 10 and a half from factory. And I stuffed 33 by 12 and a half under it. That's all I did. And that was just to fill out the wheel well. Because technically I can stuff a 35 under that truck.
The turning would be a bitch.
No. Not with.
You can still turn easily?
Yep. Thank you, off-road edition. Now, if I had the standard 1500 4-wheel drive, 33 12 and a half are as big as you can fit under that without rubbing.
Okay.
But because
the one you have now is a 1500 as well, right?
Right. Because like if you take my green truck, the biggest tire I could fit in the green truck was a 33 12 and a half. This brown truck, because of the off-road edition with the increased lift in the back and the front, I can fit a 35.
Yeah, this is going to be a real experiment because I'm not a real big Dodge. I mean, I'm not a big Mopar. The muscle cars are awesome, but as far as the trucks, I've never been a great Dodge truck fan. I've had Chevy trucks before, and I've had Ford trucks, and off-road and hunting, like in the mountains up in the northwest there, where I would usually go hunting. Never plowed in the winter. It's all it's at your own risk type thing. And I've never had any of the Fords I had on street tires, not off-road tires, just an average, like Goodyear, Wrangler, whatever they are, the all-season tire they build is normally what I had on them. And I've never had one get me stuck or strand me out there in the middle of nowhere. And they got better traction off-road than some of the Chevys I had.
You want to know you want to know what that truck's capable of. You need to put tires on it.
Yeah.
Because your tires will fail you before the truck fails you.
Yeah. Yeah, like this one's got Michelin something on there, 17-inch Michelin whatever's. Yeah, it's just an all-season radio. You know, whatever the truck was thinking in all-season tread design. It's nothing.
Nope.
It's great for getting around town and some snow on the road, but I wouldn't trust it to go out in a hayfield with, you know, snow on the ground.
Nope. Yeah,
it could surprise me, but
I have basically they're made by Cooper, but they're called Mud Claws. I'll tell you what, I swear by them. 2 feet of snow, not plowed, and I was cutting my own pathway through it.
That's when you lived in the hole out there in the mountain.
Yep.
You had to come up out of the hole to get to the back road.
Before
you got to the main highway.
Yeah. The thing is there was nothing plowed from my driveway. Like my driveway was kind of plowed because the landlord got his backhoe in there and actually it wasn't a backhoe, it was whatever a little farm tractor. And got the driveway. But as soon as you got up to the top of the driveway, you were on your own. Because the road was not plowed. That the back road down to the main road wasn't plowed, and then the main road to the actual like technically my little back road dumped onto what is technically a main road, but literally it's not. The 61 is the actual main road, and that was a good 3 miles out to there. There was nothing plowed.
Okay, you're basically on a main township road, more or
Right.
less.
I was just off of a main township road, but that road wasn't even plowed.
Yeah.
Now the main road from Reading to Pottsville, which is 61, that one was plowed, kind of. There was still like 2 to 3 inches of snow on the road, but that's nothing compared to 2 feet. Because the snow was up over the bumper, and we were just pulling. I mean, we weren't doing 60 some miles an hour, but we were holding steady at 25, 30 miles an hour. Just chugging along.
Yeah.
And
I think for what it is, it'll suit our purpose. Because mainly it's for her to pull the trailer to the cars, you know, because the truck that we have out there now isn't heavy enough for that new trailer we bought last year.
Yeah, I think
I told her, I mean, if we're gonna be looking,
oh no,
I'm not gonna settle for anything less than a 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, I mean, I think that my truck was a highway puller truck because when I got it, it already had the aftermarket transcooler. The transmission was replaced by, shoot, who was it? Anyway, it was already replaced with a warranty, and the amount of miles that were on the truck with the condition of the interior and the truck itself, I bet you that thing was a highway cruiser. So my guess is somebody used that truck for hauling, and it was somebody's baby that stayed in the garage.
Is there a good possibility?
I mean, it's got freaking 200 right now. It's got 265,000 miles on it, almost no rust on it, and the only flaw in the interior that I have found is a small tear that was sewn shut on the driver's side seat. I mean, there's no way a truck with that many miles, you know, would be in
that decent condition inside.
Right.
Without being catered for, yeah.
Yeah, and I can
understand
if it did long hauls, you know what I mean? I could see it racking up that many miles without too much interior wear.
Yeah.
So, and the pilot says he traded his Avalanche for a CTS. I think that would be a pretty decent trade. I know I absolutely love at least the first generation of Avalanches. Right after they got rid of the plastics on the bottom. So before they actually changed the design of the truck, but after that horrible like dark gray plastics they had on the bottom of the doors, I like them when they started.
The curb molding, because if you caught it and everything, it'd rip off.
Right, I absolutely hated that, but I absolutely love the truck. But from what I've heard, is there a rust nightmare in the back where that panel that drops down into the cab,
the back wall and the window where you can extend the bed.
Yeah, I heard that they are horrible for leaking and retaining water and rotting out.
Now doesn't Elliot or somebody have one of those?
Elliot does, but I think he has a newer. I'm not sure what style he has. I think he has the older ones.
Okay.
His is maroon. It's absolutely gorgeous.
It's just a dealer headache because he has to keep running back on his own. Like, fix this shit right.
Well, and the thing is at that point, you might as well just fix it your damn self. Just pull it apart, figure out how it works, and fix it yourself.
Yeah,
most likely, you're going to
do anymore. It's,
well, I mean, the thing is, the dealer just wants it back out of the shop, so they're not going to sit there and actually
troubleshoot what the actual issue is
because they don't want to put the time into it.
We found this burnt wire, and that was your problem.
Yeah, instead of what caused that burnt wire.
Yeah, exactly. What caused that wire to do that? Yeah, they're not going to bother to do that.
We'll just replace the wire, and then it'll do it all over again. You know,
it's like the Grand Dam that I had. I didn't have time to work on it. I've never torn a door apart to do the power window. So all I know is you can hear the motor run, but the window ain't going down no more. You know, it was just the clips that broke on the arm, whatever that hooks it. Yeah, there's a garage across the street from where we park. Like, hey, I need this fixed. Look at it and tell me what it is. Let me know what it is. And I went out on another trip. I come back in, hey, your car's fixed. We got it all done. Congratulations. Oh, okay. Here's your $800 and whatever dollar bill. I'm like, what? And they just replaced the whole motor and window regulator assembly and still had to go to the GM dealer to get some kind of, because it didn't come in the kit that they bought. Like, okay, what about the phone call that I was to get when you told me what the problem was that nobody ever gave me?
Yeah, to tell you if I wanted it fixed or not.
Exactly. I mean, how the car's got over 200,000 miles on it. It's a beater. It was a work car.
I'm not putting $800 into it if I don't have to. I'll drive with a freaking stick underneath the window.
Yeah, like I told him, hell, I said, the thing's got beautiful air conditioning. The only time I'd open the window would be on the turnpike, and I've driven the damn thing a year and a half, with the window busted now anyways. It ain't worked.
Wasn't worth $800. Oh, see, I'm not a fan I'm not a fan of the Grand Cherokee's Pilot, but you know what? I absolutely loved like the late 80s, early 90s Cherokee Limiteds, the black and gold with the snowflake rims. I wonder why I like that. I wonder why I like that color combination. I have no idea. What?
Because it was great TA attraction.
Exactly. I mean,
you're lifted? Yes. And I hear that the Jeep girls love to do it topless.
Hey, well, mine was an '89 Cherokee Limited with a factory sunroof. How many of you know that had the factory sunroof? An actual factory sunroof, not an aftermarket company that put one in.
Yeah.
Very few of them. Well, very few of them actually had a factory, as in part of the original assembly sunroof. A lot of them had them put them in after that they were like a dealer option. So like once it would be what do they call that when a dealer installs something?
Yeah.
Because they did that with the TAs, with the American Racing T-tops for the TAs and stuff. I forget what that company was called. It's not American Racing. It was American something. But you could get those aftermarket T-tops instead of the Hurst or the Fisher. But it's kind of like that. But a lot of the Jeeps came with, the factory went out and had them put in before they were sold. But this one was an actual factory Jeep top. It had the leather interior, with the actual gold rims and all of that. It had the HO inline 6. It was a sweet little truck. I absolutely loved it, but I had to sell it because it rotted.
Yeah, that was my debate. I almost bought one of them, but I was looking for a four-wheel drive pickup at the time. That's when I ended up buying my 94 F-150 from the same spot. But they had one of them in there. I test drove. I was like, gosh.
Now I was
I need the bed for hauling shit and pulling it's like.
Well, when I went to go get the green Ram, my options were I wanted the truck to be under $2,500, and I wanted the truck had to be at least a 1500 or a Jeep Cherokee, because I didn't want like an S10. I didn't want a Ranger. Those were too small. And I knew that even if I got a Jeep Cherokee, at least would be able to haul a decent bit. Because those inline sixes are a beast.
Torquey. They're
right.
Torquey.
And I used to haul all kinds of shit in my 89. In fact, I hauled my Nova. You can see there's a picture on my Facebook where I'm literally pulling my Nova with the Jeep. So I knew it was going to be able to pull like the Trans Am or the Nova, no problem. If I needed to haul them somewhere, or if I picked up another parts car somewhere. So that was one of my things. I almost bought a white Jeep Cherokee. And then I saw the green truck, and the green truck was actually cheaper than the Jeep. So I'm like, nope, we're going for the Ram. And I couldn't find. I'll tell you what though, I could not find a Chevy or a Ford F-150 or 1500 anywhere near that price range that I got that Jeep that Ram for. They were all way too freaking expensive. And the thing is I think that the Ram outperforms them. You know,
either Mortimer, and the other thing with that, when you bought your truck, they had the quote unquote, oh, don't buy a Dodge, transmissions are junk and blow up. Okay, well, it's like anything, you got to maintain it. Yes, they had some issues, but there was a reason.
The other thing is after researching them for a bit, a lot of them have the issues with the solenoids. You can drop that pan, swap out those solenoids, and have the pan back up in less than 3 hours. It's not a hard fix. It's just people are intimidated because it's an automatic transmission.
Exactly.
You say automatic transmission, oh my God, and
oh my God, it's got to go to a garage. That's a $2,000 bill. Oh.
All right, I literally the other day I literally pulled the whole transmission apart in the Dodge and had it back together in probably 4 hours.
But you didn't test it yet.
No, because I took off this week. I have not been out to the vehicles. I have not touched the vehicles this week at all. I did not want to end up spending money on them. Then I wanted to actually be able to spend money on going out and enjoying my vacation this week. So, actually, and this is kind of where some of my money went. I'm going to do another scary thing, like people not wanting to touch Dodge transmissions. Well, I'm going to do surgery on a $1,000 cell phone. So I have to replace the center case and the rear
glass in the chassis
on my phone because it fell off of a car at 30 some miles an hour, and you can't really see it, but that back glass is shattered all the way across, all the way up through here. And if you listen, you can actually hear the battery moving inside the case because the phone took that hard of a hit. And that battery is glued into the case right here. It is literally glued there. And I can feel it shaking around. So it hit pretty hard. So I now have all the parts for that. I just need to...
You can say, if you'd have had your GoPro or whatever with you, that you made the first officially videoed UPF, unidentified phone flying. You could have started a new YouTube trend,
You mean the thing is you remember what happened to my GoPro?
What did you do? Yeah, the one you were using. You knocked over and busted the screen in, didn't you?
I was
dropped it or something.
I was using it to film stuff for the truck, and I had it sitting on top of the transmission jack, and I didn't notice that it fell off the top of the transmission jack, and when I went to go lower it, it crushed the screen. Okay. Well, I am lucky that the person that got me that had a warranty on it.
And loves you greatly.
I have a brand new
screen.
Well, it's not technically a GoPro, but the cool thing is I didn't have to send any of the batteries back or anything, so I have 4
extra batteries now. Now, what brand is that? What do you have there?
A Seiko?
Seiko, okay. I don't know if Miss Formula knows what hers is or not.
All right, it's like
she's got one, and she bought a kit for that I actually have with me now. She's like, this will make this easier for you to do things. You need to learn how to use it. I'm like, huh. I said, yeah, with my 2 left hands and feet, it's like trying to teach a donkey to dance type of thing,
I mean, it's not a GoPro, but you know what? It still takes pretty good video quality. I just hate that I lost the footage that was on there because I had some decent footage from when I did the door on the TA, which obviously was not in the video, the last video that I uploaded, because it was on that memory card, and I took the memory card out of the GoPro before I sent it back, and I thought I had it in a safe place, and I can't find that SD card now. So it's MIA. I might find the footage at some point, but it didn't ended up in the video that it was supposed to be in. I also have some cool video from pulling the transmission out of the truck, and I also obviously I don't have that footage either. So I'm having to make do with the footage that I have for that first video, which should be up sometime next week. I'm not in a big rush because I don't have any new content to put up after that. So it is what it is. I see that we got Chris in here, One Low Blazer. I'm not sure if he has the ability to pop up here in the chat or not. But one thing I would like to ask you guys is if you're in here and you're enjoying the stream, if you haven't hit the like button yet, please do. And number 2, if you have any car buddies that would love to come in here and chit chat and just talk shit about cars, share the page, share the stream. Let's get some people in here and get some good chat going in the chat. I read it. I may not comment on it right away, but I do read it. And it does influence what we talk about up here in the actual the stream. So please do that. I'm going to do a little merch plug here in a minute, only because I just spent several days revamping my whole merch line and would like to show it off. I mean, I don't care if you buy it. I mean, if you do buy it, it'd be great because it kind of makes all my time worth it. But you know, I just want to show it off because I spent a lot of time on it. So we've been talking about the C8.
Guinness.
Maybe. Yeah, of course it's Guinness.
I'm guessing. I got a quick look at the glass.
I haven't spent enough time to go out and go get another case of Yingling, so it's Guinness, and I kind of feel bad because I bought the Guinness for not to drink all of the time, to drink when I, for special occasions or when I just felt like having one, and I'm drinking them like a regular beer, which, I mean, technically I'm Irish, it should be a regular beer, but they're expensive. So, I mean, if you guys want, I can do, oh no, you just had pictures of the Blazer up on Instagram the other day. I actually had them in my live stream. In fact, if you don't mind, I can share that picture real quick.
Yeah, he did. He posted a picture in the group on the.
Yeah,
he was in a car show this weekend, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah, here it is. Yeah, come on, rotate. There we go. There's Chris's One Low Blazers blazer, if it'll focus, maybe.
There it is.
So it absolutely gorgeous.
Wild paint job.
It's not my style of vehicle, but it is an absolutely gorgeous vehicle.
That's a 2-wheel drive model, presuming.
I would hope so if he's lowered it like that. Though I don't know how much lifted 4-wheel drive. Did any of them come 4-wheel drive? The S10s?
Yeah, they did.
Okay. I don't think
I actually know where there's 2 of those sitting in there.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't know that because Street Speed's Taser is 4-wheel drive. I do believe.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, it's a nice little vehicle.
Oh, burned his fuel pump up apparently.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh.
All right.
That sucks.
See. We're going to share screen. We're going to share an application window. We're going to share that one and share.
I'm presuming he's all paint with that, or Is it
I
vinyl
think
graphics as
I'm
well?
not sure. I think it's paint, but I think he bought it like that. The previous
That's a
owner had
wild
it
paint
done.
job.
It is. It's very
Paint
sweet.
job work great. Either way, it is wild.
All right, so I'm not sure if you guys have checked out my Teespring account at all, but I have some new merch and I would like to share it off. If there's anything you would like me to click on, let me know. Oh, actually, I can't see the chat right now. There we go. Oh, it's not going to let me do it. Darn it.
Well, you did a whole revamp on everything, didn't you?
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Now I can see the chat. Yeah, like these ones here are new. If it'll, sorry, I got a lot of going on, and this is an old computer, so give it a minute. All right, so this one here is an actual new design. It looks like the old one, but I revamped it to hopefully be more printer friendly for the machines of Teespring. And then I changed the front too. It has a little logo on the front. That's the other thing that's different is the big logo used to be on the front here, and I switched it to so the big logo is on the back now. We also have cell phone cases. As you can see, that logo is slightly different for smaller images. Funny thing is, we got things like coffee mugs.
What was the last thing, like a phone case or something before the
Yeah,
mug?
that was actually an Android phone case. I have Android and I have iPhone.
Okay.
So both cell phone companies, if you have either one of those, so Samsung or an iPhone, because those are the two
Okay.
big ones. Like the hoodies and stuff, they do come in all freaking colors. Let's see. Where's the colors at? Oh, maybe this one doesn't. Only comes in this color. I picked a bad one to choose from.
Now, can you mandate one design, like on one color shirt only with Teespring, or?
Yeah, I mean I hand picked these colors.
Okay.
So I mean I figured not everybody wants it on black. Some of them are actually on pink too. So if you like this one has it in pink. So if you're a girl or whatever and want a pink one, well, you don't have to like pink. But and I have kids hoodies too. What am I missing?
Blazer. He wants NOVAtazz underwear, but knowing him, he probably wants a thong. That would.
Well, if he wants to get in touch with me, I can get underwear printed up. They do have underwear on the site. I just did not feel comfortable.
Advertising as such.
Yeah, advertise. I didn't feel comfortable making up underwear, but you know what? I can make custom requests. They have the die cut stickers as well.
Knowing him, he just wants the thong style with super stretch so he can hook it to the mirror of his thing and shoot peanuts or candy going into the car show.
But that's just the one design. There's this one here, which was the one that Jonathan had picked up. I revamped that one as well because of the problem he had on the front. So the back is still the same, and then the front, I changed the logo on the front so that way it'll print better.
Okay.
That one actually has a cell phone case as well. I think I might have to. Yeah, I think I have to get an Android one for that one. But there's an iPhone one. So for that drag racer at heart. Let's see what else we got. We do have the Jean Grey poster, which is the exact poster that I have sitting over here. The exact same size, $23.99. I guarantee you, I paid more for mine. So you can actually get this poster that's hanging right behind me. I can't see the chat, Chris, so if something comes up, you need to let me know. Let's see. So we have that one. I do have the Nova one, just like the Trans Am one. I have that one up. It's a load.
Okay, yeah, he did say that's all paint on his Blazer.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm kind of half peeking at the chat there if I can. So there's the Nova one is the exact same. Now the Nova one, I didn't put the flag on the front. And depending on if somebody picks up one of the ones with the Trans Am one, the one with the little one with the flag on the front, and if it doesn't come out looking right and I find out about it, I might switch the Trans Am one to this logo as well. Because I mean, like I don't know how these are going to come out until somebody ends up picking them up, because I don't have the money to sit here and buy samples of all of these.
Right.
So we should have all the same stuff that's on the Nova we have for the TA. I mean, all the TA ones, we have the same ones for the Nova. Oh, I lie. We have some more kid stuff. Like I have there's a little kids onesie for the
Okay.
For the little NOVAtazz the little NOVAtazz fan. I don't know. I don't think I have anybody in that age group on my YouTube analytics.
Not yet, but stranger things have happened.
Well, I know that Joe from Wicked Fabs has them. You still got you got the die cast in the NOVAtazz. You got the coffee mug in NOVAtazz, plus the cell phone cases with the Nova. The other thing I did, which I think I'm going to go back and do for the Trans Am, is this is a large banner. So like a wall hang. This is 51 by 6 foot, 51 inches by 6 foot, I think. No, 51. So 51 inches by 60 inches, 68 by 80, and 88 by 104, respectively. So actual wall banners. Those I thought were pretty cool. And I have stupid. I wish this would load faster.
You'll get there.
But I still have a whole bunch of stuff to put up. I still have all the ones without the American flag in the background to do. I have to literally individually revamp all of these. I had to go back in and edit every single image and redo them. This is actually a beach towel. So they have beach towels too.
Okay.
So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, like, there's literally hours upon hours of staying up and re-editing all of these images. I did bring back this shirt because people, I'm guessing people wanted it. Now this one, I kept the big image on the front because I thought it just looked weird having that image on the back of the shirt. But it does have my my information on the back. And this one only comes in white. But I do have a black and white. I have the opposite, the inversion of that shirt on a black shirt. Those were the last ones that I had actually worked on, was those ones. I still have a few other shirts to get done, including the truck one. So yeah, I have that one, cell phone case, different shirts, coffee mug, hoodies, beach towels, throw pillow, and then I have the black, same thing in black. It has my logo on the back of it. Click on any of them. So yeah, it has my basic logo on the back. I know I should make this all like really compact and in like commercial format, but
so you can have a very, very wide and dramatic.
Well, I mean, the Teespring makes it easy.
Set of what you've done.
Yeah, the Teespring makes it easy to do that too.
Drive-in's open.
Say what?
Drive-in's open, even in a rainstorm.
Oh.
They out there watching the movie in the big screen.
I got this black one I did with the big banner too. I think that'd be freaking awesome to have if you're a Pontiac lover. I should actually probably put this up on some of the Trans Am sites. See if people want it.
That is wild.
And yeah, remember that's like 5 feet across. And, you know, it's yeah, it's like 5 foot by, what is it? 5 foot by basically 4.5 for the smallest size. And it goes all the way up to like 80 inches, which is I think like what, like 7 foot. So yeah, I mean, I kind of want one of those. I mean, that'd be freaking awesome to have. You can't see me pointing because I'm sharing the screen, but we'll stop sharing here. But no, I figured that'd be freaking awesome. I don't have fleece PJs.
I want PJs.
You want me to make some NOVAtazz PJs?
I want PJs.
All right, I'll see if they have PJs. I don't think they do. I think they have stretchy pants.
I'll dig deep enough. They might have those thinking adult onesies or whatever the hell they're called. That one
I have to go back and see what all they have. Some stuff I can see. I know that they have like stretchy pants, and I know they have socks. I think they have women's swimwear. I don't know. Hold on. Let's take a gander. We'll go back to sharing.
Yeah. Footed pajamas with a hood and everything that zips up the front. You got all one piece snuggle outfit.
Yeah, hold on. Let's see what I got. Share that.
It's really funny how you see some of the things advertised on TV now, and you know everybody's just going gaga, and you sit there and kind of giggle or something. Yeah, it says, I'm not going to say when I saw something like that back in the day, but it was really popular back then. It's still as dumb now as it was then.
Right? Let's see. Got leggings. They sell templates that I'd have to actually do, but they do leggings. I'm not sure if they do PJs. I got stickers, cell phone cases, hoodies, sweatshirts, women's, kids, babies, long sleeves, sleeve pants, leggings, socks, joggers, the swimming suits, sports bras, crop tops, dresses. No, they don't have PJs. I can do a blanket.
No, technically you can use the leggings and PJs. They'd be a little tighter.
Yeah, I don't think so.
At least for the bottoms. Yeah, something comfortable.
They got hats. I could do hats. I don't have them unlocked though. Or do I? No, I do.
Yeah, Blazer's right.
What?
If you're gonna have PJs, you gotta make sure you got the drop flap.
Well, I think that's the one piece.
You gotta have a bombardier door.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, you guys just saw all of basically what I can do. So if there's things that you think that I should have up on the store that I don't, I mean, I kind of basically put my time into the things that I think would get the most appeal. I mean, I could have done it with everything, but then my store's crowded with a bunch of stuff that I think the majority of people, especially my viewership, wouldn't be interested in. I mean, like they have tote bags and all kinds of stuff. So I mean, I could put my logo on anything. But
yeah, I think they're probably looking at the sports bras and a set of leggings as the new age PJs because you got
so many
workout videos and girls working out that are wearing them everywhere you see.
Well, yeah, but again, like I said, unless I have a hell of a lot of women viewers, which I mean, I know I have some, but it's not like I have this massive estrogen following. So there's really no point in doing that unless somebody starts requesting it. Because those are a royal pain in the butt because you have to, you know, the way that you have to set them up. It's not like a T-shirt where you have a big flat surface to put the logo on. There's this whole template that you have to be able to make your image so it looks right on the product.
Yeah, you got to get the curves right.
Exactly. You know, I don't need my Trans Am having a big bulge in the one spot where it doesn't need to be.
Exactly.
Don't
Or
put the hood of the Trans Am over this spot because it will be all stretched out.
Oh, that's interesting. Way
What?
to go, motorhome. This motorhome is in front of me, passing
Right.
a Dodge pickup truck pulling a trailer, and he's running him off the road, getting back over in the right lane.
Oh boy.
With Florida plates. Wow, that says a lot right there. It's a misplaced snowbird.
I'm wondering where's my relief crew coming in, man? Normally I have a second half of people that get on. I would think that Big E will pop in here within the next 10 minutes. What do you think?
Yeah, that made no sense. He passed me to get over in the right lane and slow down, so I got to go around him again.
Leapfrog. Didn't you ever like playing Leapfrog on the highway? Then I guess it maybe not as fun in the big rig. So again, I kind of see you guys playing Leapfrog all the freaking goddamn time on the highway on my way to work. And I literally have to travel like a 6-mile stretch of 78, and I can get from one end of it to the other in less than like 4.5, 5 minutes if I time it right. But sometimes you guys playing Leapfrog, it can make that 6-mile trip take like 10 minutes.
Oh yeah. Hey, you gotta like the ones that have a love affair with their neighbor. They just sit there and hold hands, waving at each other.
Well, the other one I like is when you're like when you're closing that distance really freaking quickly, and that back truck decides to pop over like right before you're gonna pass them.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, you couldn't let me pass and then move over to pass the truck. No, you had to like, and it doesn't have to be a car or a truck. I mean, I'm not picking on just the truck drivers because, you know, but in fact, I got to take this offset where you can pop up here because I'm hogging the screen here. But you know, you doesn't have to wait. It doesn't have to be the truck driver. Sometimes there's a car behind a tractor trailer, like perfectly content just sitting there tailgating that truck driver. And then as soon as I'm coming up the fast lane to pass both of them, then he decides he wants them to pull over. It's like, bitch, you could have just waited till I went by and then just, you know, tucked in behind me and been just fine. No, you got to be in front of me. You know, meanwhile, I'm traveling a good 20 miles an hour faster than you are. But we're still going 55 in the speed limit, right? Yes.
Yeah, it's hilarious sometimes the traffic you see.
So I want to hear you guys in the comments. What do you guys think of the new Corvette? Because I need to get my comments going here, buddies. You guys get. I don't know if you guys just like listening to me that much that you guys don't chit chat in there, but I'd like to see some conversation going on in there because it helps influence what we talk about up here on the screen. Really, it does. Yes, it does. I've got Peanut Gallery back there. You're supposed to be doing your homework.
I still think they hit a home run with it. I mean, some aspects of it are going to take getting used to, but
like I said, I kind of like it. I kind of like it. I absolutely hated it. Like before they revealed it, I wanted no parts of it, whatever. I still don't necessarily really like the fact that it's mid-engine, but I'm not buying it. So, you know, not because I wouldn't buy it, but because I can't afford to buy it. So, I mean, really, my opinion doesn't mean bupkis.
Yeah.
But you know, I kind of like it from certain angles. You have full-on side profile, especially if it's like towards the rear, like the front end. You know, it's like from the rear sideways. It just the driver cockpit being pushed forward just throws the proportions of the car off from what I'm used to. So yeah, I mean that one makes it look awkward.
Now it does surprise me on one hand, you know, I know the engineering aspects of it would be a pain in the ass, but it is kind of surprising that they have just a standard door on it, as opposed to a flip up or a flip forward style door, more in the quote unquote supercar image. You know, you see a lot of those too.
I think they did not want to push the
supercar genre type thing.
Yeah, they don't want to go too far away from the Corvette lineage, because if they did too far, it could backfire and blow up in their face.
But the fact they're bringing it out, they're bringing out a base Corvette, totally redesigned, mid-engine, under 60K, that has nearly 500 horsepower from factory.
Let's say this right, because you got to leave the Corvette part out of this. They are bringing out a mid-engine supercar for under 60 grand. That's
with nearly 500 horsepower from factory.
The thing is I kind of wish they would have left the Corvette alone and brought this out as its own nameplate. I wish they would have stuck with the rear engine, platform, or the front engine rear wheel drive platform, and brought this thing out as its own model, its own deal. Called it something else. Called it Pegasus. I don't care.
Well, that's the biggest reason they didn't, because they've never wanted anything to compete with the Vet.
I know.
As its top marquee thing.
That's hello, right here. It is the reason why John DeLorean got stuck with the F-body platform instead of the Corvette platform that he originally wanted.
Yep.
And the whole reason John DeLorean set out to whoop freaking Corvette's ass, and it took him a couple years, but he did it in 1979, completely whooped Corvette's ass all over the track.
Well, he had it earlier than that. They just didn't publicize it. That Pontiac Banshee concept he had that would have been wild if they could have produced it.
Well, the thing is the Pontiac Banshee concept was built off of the Corvette chassis, and if you look at the C2 that came out, it is the freaking Banshee. They literally stole John DeLorean's freaking concept for the Banshee and turned it into a Corvette instead of a Firebird.
Pretty much.
I mean, you look at the Stingray. The Stingray, the late 70s, early 80s Stingray is the fucking Banshee. They literally GM just decided to say, fuck you, you're not getting your car, but you know what? We're going to take it and put our name on it.
Yeah, we're going to take your designs because you do work for us.
And we're gonna just take it and use it, and you can do diddly squat with it.
Oh, Pilot did bring up a good point. We missed 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds.
Oh yeah, I didn't miss any of that. I saw all that in the thing. 495 horsepower for the base.
I don't think either of us is mentioned. Now, was that
the base Stingray? The base Stingray for the C7 was still less than that. I think it was only 450 horsepower.
Yeah. Now, is this? I don't remember that. Is it a 6-speed or an 8-speed? What is the gearbox? An 8-speed? Okay.
It's actually an 8-speed manual, computer shifted Corvette. I don't care. People can yell that it's not a manual. I mean, mechanically, it's still a manual. It's just no longer shifted by a human person. Yeah. It is shifted by a computer. I am sorry, there's a big difference between an automatic transmission and a computer selected manual. It's still a manual. It still has a clutch. It still has, actual metal cut gears. It's just no longer requiring you to push in the freaking clutch and to shift the gears. But internally, it's still a manual transmission. It is not an automatic. It does not have a torque converter. It does not have fluid clutch plates and
paddle shifters
and things like. Well, paddle shifters nothing. That's just a computer. Paddle shifters can control an automatic, or it can control what I consider a traditional manual.
Yeah, and auto shifted manual transmission.
Right.
It's the same as most of the manuals, like the automated. It's an automated manual like they have in a big truck. Where some of them have a clutch pedal. Some of them you step on the brake pedal to actuate the clutch. and then it's just a electronic solenoid body that shifts the actual gears, but it's still a manual transmission underneath.
Yeah. If you look at it, if you take apart that transmission and you ignore the fact that it's considered an auto, and you look at just the internals, it looks just the same as any manual transmission that came before it.
Right.
The only difference is the fact that it's got solenoids to shift the freaking gears instead of a lever up in the cockpit. You know, they've been doing it for years now with the paddle shifters. I mean, it's still the same thing. As long as it doesn't have a torque converter and having those fluid friction plates, then it's a manual transmission at its heart. It's just better at doing what it does than a human can.
Yes, 2 clutches, coconut. Dual clutch design.
Coconut, why not? Or why are you not up here in the video stream and leaving us up here to hang? I've been sitting here waiting for you to come up on the stream so I can go, you know, reload my beverage of choice.
But it's, yeah, I think it's going to be, they more or less, you know, now I'm sure they know it, but they've set a bar with a new release of basically supercar territory. It's something that most, you know, a little upper mid class general public people could acquire, but the supercar industry in itself is going to take notice that, you know, if they tweak this a little bit, we could have some real competition from this.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. You give that sucker, you know, 800 horses like the ZR1 does. You know, if you put that ZR1 package on that C8 platform. Now the thing is what I haven't heard yet. How much does that car weigh?
Yeah, I haven't heard of that either.
You know, okay,
that's why the
0 to 60
the presentation video with the C8R model they have that they're racing now is just, yeah. What is that going to evolve into?
Well, I'm not worried about the C8R. I'm talking about the, you know,
yeah, this car now as it is.
How much does that sucker weigh? How much more does it weigh than the C7? Because the C7 was already a pig. Compared to Corvette standards, it was a pig.
Yeah.
So how much more does this mid-engine platform weigh?
Yes, it does weigh more.
There is no way that car only weighs 3,500 pounds. That's how much my Nova weighs. There is no way that car only weighs 3,500 pounds. And the thing is I think the C7 weighed almost 4,000 pounds. I mean,
now, what was your thought on like the subframe structure now underneath, where they had the axles and everything mounted in the suspension when they did the video? How they kind of highlighted that to show what it looked like.
Yeah, where they made them all one pieces. I mean, I guess they could, but that's a lot of weight to remove from a freaking, because the mid-engine cars tend to be heavier. They don't tend to be light vehicles. I mean, look at the Lamborghinis. They're freaking tanks. You know, in the weight department as far as a sports car. So, I mean, the thing is you got to think about it. It's weight. You know, how much does that thing weigh versus how much horsepower it has? You can throw all the horsepower numbers out there you want. You know, that's like Dodge. Dodge can throw out 700-800 horsepower numbers, but their cars weigh like 300 to 500 pounds more than their competition. So they need that extra horsepower just to get it going.
Power to weight ratio is going to make a big deal, especially in the handling department.
Well, Grant and Pilot both say around 3,600 pounds. So, I mean, you got to think about it. That's 500 horsepower in a car that weighs about as much as my Nova, and obviously has better weight distribution. That's actually going to be pretty impressive on the track. That's where I want to see this car. I want to see this car, you know, I want to see people getting a hold of these cars and taking them to a road course. You know, I mean, yes, I know that they've been, or I know that they've had the Corvette up at Nürburgring, but I want to see what a more average person can do with one of these cars on the track. So yeah, and I do believe, from what I've heard, the cars could be rolling off of the assembly line and into people's hands as early as Christmas. So we could start seeing these cars, on the street in public hands by New Year's. Which I don't know if I want to see them out on the street at that point.
I wouldn't be surprised you don't see them rolling around, but in November.
Well, from some reliable sources that I have snooped around on the internet, it looks like the first cars should be rolling off of the assembly line and being delivered around Christmas.
On Christmas, okay.
Christmas, New Year's, because somebody was thinking like February, and the dealership guy kind of said, no, you're probably looking more around Christmas, New Year's. So I think that they're going to try to get these out a lot faster than they did the C7s. Because if you remember when, no, not the C7, what was it? It was the VR1. I think that they were freaking dragged out forever and had a whole bunch of people upset because the cars were taking forever to get out to people.
Yeah.
So I think they learned from that and are going to try to get these cars turned around and out of the factory as fast as possible. Because, I mean, that's kind of what they need to do in a marketing standpoint as well, because of the fact of how sensitive this car is. They need this car to get out into people's hands, so that way the average public can get a idea of what these cars, and that might influence other people on whether or not they wanted to pull the trigger and buy the car.
Experience it, test drive it. Some people get out and start using it on a day-to-day basis. And then they get the feedback on, okay, now what kind of hiccups or headaches can we potentially have, or
I think it's
look to have, even with all the testing they've done.
I think it's more of just wanting to get these cars out into people's hands as fast as possible, because this is a really, really big pivotal point as far as the Corvette is concerned, on whether or not it's going to fall on its face or launch itself into the next generation, as far as the type of people buying the car, because they're no longer looking at the 60, 80-year-old, traditional Corvette buyers. They're after the 20 to 40-year-olds that are out buying supercars now. They're looking for that next generation of Corvette buyer. So, and I'm not sure if who was it? Was it Chris that I was talking about earlier that mentioned about the Tesla pickup truck? Yeah, I ignored that on purpose. Electronic cars do not exist on this channel yet. I'm avoiding that topic as much as possible. I'm one of those people that
that's
just
an interesting concept, but it's still a concept.
Right, but I'm not looking for the day that the freaking battery operated cars are more predominant than my chosen genre of car, because it will be the end.
The government's gonna have a gold mine on their hands if it ever comes to that, at least for a little while, giving private people a moonshine license so they can produce their own fuel for their muscle cars.
Hey, whiskey, moonshine, and E85 are both made out of the same thing.
Hey, Matt.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, Matt, I wasn't sure if I was going to have any second shifters popping.
Yeah.
Did Greg's live stream last a little longer today?
A little bit, yeah. Well, we were offline for a little bit talking about some things, because I know, like, you're faced with the same thing. We're, kind of figuring out, what we're gonna do once Google Hangouts goes away. So.
Yeah, I'm literally looking at probably one more live stream, and then I'm gonna have to solo this for a little while, unless there's a solution somewhere.
Yeah, I forget what.
Well, you guys with the newer computers, I'm telling you, I'll tell you exactly what to use. And you can let Greg know this. I don't like him, but I have no problems helping you guys out with your stream.
Mm-hmm.
Look into Skype and Streamlabs together.
Yeah, well, we tried. We tried. God, what was it? Last week and the week before, Greg tried Streamlabs, and because this is my work laptop, it didn't work. So
well, what do you mean? He should be the one that's using Streamlabs.
It would not log, like my computer would not log into it. He sent me the link, like Google Hangouts. It wouldn't log in.
Well, no, I mean that's not how that works. Google Hangout, Streamlabs is an OBS broadcaster. Okay, so it's
still. I know what you're saying, Sean, but it's still like my computer being a work laptop. It like came up with an error. It would not let me log into whatever he had going.
Okay, well that's what I'm saying. What I was saying is if you do it this way, okay, so you set up your Streamlabs. And he has his view window. He needs to look into the fact of Skype has, and this should all be taken care of on his end. Skype has a thing where you can literally take each individual webcam broadcast. So your webcast right here would literally be its own individual camera.
Okay.
Whereas Google Hangouts puts them all up on one pane.
Right.
Counts it as one image.
Okay.
Whereas Skype with Streamlabs, you can treat each individual's I don't want to say webcam because it is a webcam, but it's not. Each individual stream, so your stream, my stream, Chris's stream would be each an individual segment.
Gotcha.
And then you can move those segments wherever you want on using Google Hangouts as the OBS. Can literally design your own screen instead of like having Google Hangouts has the stuff across the bottom.
Right. Yeah, like what we have right now.
You can literally have all of us up at the same time in your own little corners or however you want to put it. At that point, the design is up to you.
Yeah.
You saw me messing around with it a little bit the one time.
Yeah.
I was still using Google Hangouts. Now my problem is my computer literally cannot keep up with that processing power.
Yeah.
Greg's computer should have no problem. You should literally be able to log into whatever he's using to get your feed. So whether it's Skype or Google, or it's going to have to be Skype or a different conference call app, because Google Hangouts won't exist anymore. I would suggest using Skype because of that feature of being able to snag each individual webcam and being able to put them wherever you want. When then you put names under them and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we have something set up for next Thursday. We're gonna try kind of like a dry run of some of the software. So
yeah, I mean, my problem is literally I need to sell T-shirts. I need donations. I need something because I literally do not have the money to upgrade my equipment to be able to handle all of that processing power. Yeah. I tried doing
it's funny because what was it? Friday I did my live stream. I
popped in for like 10 seconds.
And I went in there and the little pop-up window came up and said, Google Hangouts is going away. Try this. YouTube has it said like YouTube webcam.
But the thing is, it's only your webcam.
It's so I can't invite people.
I tried. You can't.
And that cracks me up, Sean. Like
that's what pisses me off. Is Google got rid of something, YouTube got rid of something, and it's like, well, here's this, but this is no different than the
like,
I already had.
Let me have people, with me.
Yeah, you're not giving me what I had. You're just saying, well, this is what you're stuck with. Now, like I said, and I wish I could be able to show this, and I just don't know if I want to deal with Greg that long to freaking be able to. I mean, I could probably explain it to him, but I don't want to. But that's what I did. I did my searching, and I found that the Skype has that individual. You can do it as a regular group call and just have everybody on the screen and just record it big, simple. Literally, are just going to feed your Google Hangouts. I mean, your Skype window to OBS. And then OBS transfers it to YouTube. It's instead of it being in one step, you break it into two.
Yeah.
The easy method literally did that for you.
Right.
The easy method literally took your Google Hangouts call, stuck it into an OBS, and broadcasted it to YouTube without you having to do anything.
Yeah.
Now you're going to have to do that yourself.
Well, see, the thing of it is with
extra, it can't handle that extra
yeah.
step.
The thing of it is when I did my live stream on Friday, I don't have OBS. I went straight Google Hangouts. Like I don't have
But that's what you're getting rid of. You are now going to have to use an OBS or just literally your webcam straight to YouTube.
Yeah.
If you want to have anything, if you want to have more people on your stream, or if you want to be able to put up any kind of banners or anything like that, you're going to need an OBS.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to need something that's going to be able to convert your image into a streamable format to broadcast to YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, why did they have to?
Grant asked me what kind of computer I'm using. I am literally using an Alienware 14R from like 2011. Now, granted, this computer is a freaking beast for how old it is, but unfortunately, it is losing support from all of its drivers. The drivers are no longer updating, so my NVIDIA graphics card that is built into this laptop is no longer getting service updates. I am losing support from Windows 7, which is the highest operating software I can get on this computer. I cannot run Windows 10 on this computer. It has a hardware issue. The hardware in it does not like my software. The Windows 10. It does not work together. It does not compute.
Yeah.
So it does everything that I need it to do. It does everything I need it to do for what I am doing right now up until this point. It does these live streams just fine. It edits my videos quick. It does not take too long to render. I'm talking 15, 20 minutes to render a 15-minute video in 1080p. That's not bad, especially with the amount of edits that I do to it.
It's like that old movie in the 80s, Short Circuit. Johnny 5, need more input.
Yeah, it's like the thing is just, Tucker, I know I can upgrade to Windows 10 for free. But the problem is the hardware in this computer is not compatible
with the software.
Yeah, it is not compatible with Windows 10. Literally, it'll start updating and it'll go through the process, and then literally it will freeze. And if you go on Alienware's website, they literally will tell you this version of this laptop is not compatible with Windows 10.
Yeah.
I have tried everything.
Well, see, it's like I was talking.
The other thing is, if I upgrade this computer to Windows 10, it would literally bog it down. The Windows 10 is too.
You would need to upgrade your processor, your RAM.
Yeah. The reason why this computer runs as fast as it does is because it's still running on Windows 7.
Yeah. So, like my computer, I built back in February. I run Premiere Pro. Like when I upload, like most of my videos are 5, 6, 7 minutes. They render so quick, and like even on when I render them, like they're quick in Premiere, and when I'm ready to upload to YouTube, I don't experience any of the issues that like Send It Steve has.
Right. Well, again, Send It Steve is probably
goes like that. It's so quick.
He's using a basic laptop, and he's also trying to upload, most likely a lot of the times, off of his phone's internet. Because most of the time I see him, he's out in a public place when he's trying to upload.
Yeah, yeah.
And his internet probably is not super.
I feel bad for him because it's like,
well, he's not a big tech guy, so I'm sure his internet at home is not super fast. I'm sure he's got the basics of what he needs. He's a family guy. So his family comes first. He's not thinking about, oh, I need super quick internet. And technically, he doesn't. If it takes him 2 hours to upload a video, it takes him 2 hours to upload a video. It'll get up there eventually.
Even back when I first started, it never took me that long. Never took me that long to upload a video.
Yeah. I mean, the thing I can compare this to, Grant, is let's take your old, let's take an Android phone. Okay. And an Android phone, yeah, it's super quick. It's super fast when you first get it. Okay. And then when they update to the next version of the Android software, so like Android 7, the Android 8. I know they use the candy names for it, but let's just say one version to the next. When you start using that new version of the software, the phone will seem slow and clunky because that new software is designed for a more advanced phone.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, to Tom, Sean.
What?
Easy with terms like that. He's going to make us feel like dinosaurs. A Commodore 64. God.
I remember the Commodore 64.
That's just like this Alienware. You know, I'm sitting here, this technology is almost 10 years old. And yeah, it's still able to keep up with a regular computer. But YouTube and streaming and all that, you need more of a gaming style computer than a regular computer.
Yeah, well, if you know, talking about that, and one of the reasons why I built the computer that I did was because I wanted to use Premiere Pro, and Premiere Pro is a very processor-heavy editing.
Now, you have your Premiere Pro running through your GPU or your CPU?
CPU. Well, it's Premiere Pro really likes the more threads you have on your CPU. That's how Premiere Pro works. And like, if I go in and mess around with like really heavy duty stuff, it does bog down a little bit. But like my PC in the house, I don't know what my processor is, but I know I've got 32 gigs of RAM. I have 2 solid state drives. I've got a 3 gig video card. But Premiere, like I said, Premiere Pro is very processor heavy, not GPU.
I have a really good example of the difference in what computers do. If you remember that game Oregon Trail?
Oh yeah.
Okay, if you had an exact copy, I mean, I don't care if it's on a flash drive or whatever. If you had an original software release of Oregon Trail and tried to play it on your modern computer, without the backwards compatibility turned on, literally just running the program through your modern computer, you realize you couldn't play that game, and it's not because your computer couldn't handle it. Because those old games are designed to have certain amount of pause, or they're timed because of how fast the computer would work. If you tried to play that game now, the cutscenes and everything would be so fast that you couldn't read them and you couldn't play them because everything on the screen would happen so fast you couldn't react fast enough.
Yeah.
And that is the difference. I mean, it's not that your old computer is junk or no longer works or whatever. It just cannot keep up with the modern programs and the workload. This computer works just fine. I mean, it does everything I wanted to do.
Alienware was like, you said it's how many years old?
So it's like I don't even know exactly the build date. Let me see if I can find the build date.
But like, you're talking Alienware, like that was a gaming computer.
This was like a $3,000 computer when it came out.
Yeah. Exponentially, everything gets better.
Yep, and that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, and same thing with cell phones. I mean, that's why things go out of date in like 6 months.
Yeah. Let's see, system. Okay, so this is running a i7 2760QM CPU at 2.4 gigahertz.
Okay.
It's got 16 gigs of RAM, which is a shit ton of freaking RAM. For a computer this old, 16 gigs. What the hell was that? But yeah, 16 gigs of RAM in a computer from 2011.
Yeah, 16.
That's a lot.
Back then, 16 was
huge.
Screaming.
I mean, most computers were running on 2 gigs of RAM back then.
Yeah.
All right, so it's got 16 gigs of RAM. I'm looking for a build date.
Where I think you're lacking is obviously the video card. Your RAM is fine.
All right, well, the copyright is from 2009.
So it's a video card, and it's your processor.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it's.
I mean, the thing is I'm running. My NVIDIA is. I had that somewhere. don't know what that was. Let's see, device manager. My graphics card is, I mean, it's not a bad graphics card either for its time, but it's just old. Let's see.
Sorry for eating, everyone. My girlfriend just brought me peanut butter bars, homemade.
Oh my God.
So freaking good. Good Lord. So yeah, I'm going to tease all of you.
Where is it? 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 Play adapter. Yeah, it's the GeForce GTX 560M.
Okay.
That's not a bad graphics card either.
It's not a bad graphics card, but I mean, doing today's stuff.
That's why I'm saying this computer was a freaking beast back when it was made.
Mm-hmm.
This also is not a stock Alienware either. The guy who had this made, who gave it to me, he had this custom made. So yes, it is a 14R or whatever it is. I think it's a 14R is what we were looking up before. But he had it upgraded right out of Alienware, right from Alienware.
Right.
So it pretty much had all the bells and whistles you can check off right from the factory. But again, the problem is it's almost 10 years old now.
Yeah.
It's now showing its age, and we expect a computer that's nowhere near what this would have been today, but it'll get me to doing what I need it to do, but it's $700. And that's my cost. That's literally all parts. That's not going out and buying a pre-built computer, which that computer probably would be closer to $2,000 if I were to have to buy it in a store.
The one I built, I built myself. First time, I think was $1,340. I think was the final price with the monitor.
Say that again.
$1,340 with the monitor.
And that was your price.
Yes, that's what I paid. I bought everything on Amazon.
Yeah, most likely that computer probably would be around $2,500 to $3,000.
Yeah.
Because you got to think about it. Whenever you buy a computer that's pre-built, they tends to be more expensive than if you were to price out all.
They upcharge the labor and the packaging and all that, but.
Yep, because you get a nice tiny box.
This is my first, I'm on my laptop right now, but the computer I edit on, dude, with a 24-inch monitor, 1080p monitor, the case, everything was under $1,400. Yeah,
it's not going to. I can get up and running for. I would need a monitor, but right now, technically, I could use any of my big screen televisions. So, I don't technically need a monitor right away. I would just have this humongously fucking huge ass monitor sitting on my desk. That'd be a 47-inch monitor right here.
Why the fuck not?
Hey, that's what I used to do. I used to use my big monitor, my big TVs as my computer monitor.
Now, those ones you guys are building, you got to put them in a cabinet case. You can't do that in a laptop style, correct?
No. And besides, you wouldn't.
My main computer that I edit with is in it's a mid what they call a mid tower is what I have.
You can build a laptop. But why?
I am messing around with that now.
The problem is a lot of those parts need to be soldered onto the main board. They're not clipped like you can with a computer. Computers have connectors. The problem with laptops is a lot of that stuff is literally soldered to the board.
Yeah.
And I'm not
building something. I'm not messing around with a laptop.
Nope. And not to mention, the laptop will literally be out of date within a year.
Yeah.
Laptop speeds are grow by leaps and bounds. As soon as you buy a laptop, it's out of date.
Yeah. This laptop is a Dell Latitude Ultrabook that I got last year, and I literally used it for obviously work, but the camera is actually pretty decent, for live stream. So that's why I use this instead of my other laptop.
I'm using basically the same thing as this one.
Yeah.
This one is the one that I always have the problems with. It glitches and flips, but it doesn't do it on Jess's computer, just this one. So that webcam does not like this computer, but it has no problem working with Jess's computer.
Yeah.
But anyway,
which is another indication that your computer is outdated.
Well, it's outdated. It may also be having port issues. I mean, the computer's, like I said, the computer's 10 years old. It has done. It is more than paid for.
And that's the way technology works nowadays. It's like it doesn't matter. Like you can milk things along, but
I mean, let's bring this back into the cars segment. Okay, you take a freaking a Ferrari that was top of the line in the 1990s.
Oh, 355. No, that's Testarossa. 1990s. You're looking at a 355 Spider.
Okay. Anyway, you put that up against its counterpart today. Okay, so you put that up to its same price range Ferrari today, and you just look at the difference, and it's the same thing with laptops or computers.
Honestly, if you were to take an F355 Spider, a 99, 2000, whatever, and put it up against a Ford Focus RS, the Focus would blow its doors off.
Yep.
And a Ford Focus RS, brand new, nicely spec'd, is about 35 to 40 grand. That Ferrari, to this day, you're going to pay 60, 70 grand for it because it's a Ferrari. So,
yeah, I mean, and that's not even the point of it doesn't say much about the what your name. I'm not talking about the name you're paying for. I just picked up Ferrari because it's a sports car. I could say Corvette. I could say anything. You take a Corvette from the 90s and put it up against a Corvette from today with no modifications.
Oh my God! It wouldn't even
exactly. And that's
you look at it. What generation Mustang was it? 94 Mustang. It had like 215 horsepower.
Right. All right. Let's put it this way: you take a computer from 1987 and put it up a computer from 1995.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and that's even more exaggeration because the computer technology jumped how much in just those like 6 years.
It really does.
I mean, and then you look at the beginning from the first time we had internet to 5 years after we had internet. And the difference is, I mean, and it's the same thing. I mean, I have no bones with this computer. It has literally done. Here, I'll turn it down around here. It has literally done everything I could possibly ask it to do for being how old it is. That's pretty good too.
Well,
the top is a little.
I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce. Is it Waukesha Pilot?
Just call him Pilot. Just call him.
Yeah, they're absolutely right. More power than the Apollo spacecraft computers. Yeah, they do.
Our cell phones have more power in them than most computers did 15 years ago.
Yeah. It's crazy.
This phone can do more than most computers could do a couple years ago. It takes better pictures than some modern cameras.
Oh, I got a little story for Waukesha Pilot. He just said HBO used to need satellite dish. When I was younger, I was at my buddy's house on a weekend, and it was before my family had gotten satellite, and my friend Lucas and Eric, those two guys had the old-fashioned satellite dish, which you had to like turn a dial in your house and actually rotated the satellite dish.
Oh wow! One of the big
satellite you wanted.
This was old school shit. And I remember watching Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger, the first time. And I remember his dad asking me, like, are you okay to watch this? I said, yeah, sure. And I remember him turning the dial in the living room, and you could see it like go from one image and fuzz out and like go to the next satellite, and boom, there was Schwarzenegger in the jungle with a minigun. It's like it was awesome.
Oh, did you happen to see this update on the Instagram?
I don't know if I did or not.
You want to talk about not wanting to build a laptop? I'm going to tear apart my cell phone. I am literally going to upgrade the case and the back glass on my cell phone. And yeah, you want to talk about surgery? There's some pretty big chunks out of this case here. I'm not sure if you can see that, like right there. There's a whole chunk of the case missing. Same with over here on this corner. Yeah, this phone literally fell off my car at 35 miles an hour.
Yeah, Sean's in a new thing. He's skipping the UFO channel, going straight to UPFs.
I am literally surprised that the screen is literally not cracked at all. There's not a mark on this screen.
Gotta love that Gorilla Glass.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to replace the back glass, which I thought it looked like a lot darker purple in the picture.
Yeah.
Like a lighter purple, which I'm okay with that. That's fine. And then I just picked up another mid frame. Now this part is easy. Number one, it's already shattered. I can't break it anymore, and I got a replacement. The hard part is I have to remove the front glass and the LCD panel from the frame.
Have fun with that.
Without breaking it. I am literally going to be sweating bullets because I don't want to have to replace. I mean, I'm doing this because for me to go through my insurance, it's $250.
Right.
For them to send me a refurbished phone. That so far, the back glass was like $7, and the case was like $25. That's less than that was less than what it cost me to do the front glass through the insurance, but they're not going to do that through. They're not going to send somebody out to replace that. They're just going to have me send the whole phone in, which is $200 deductible. So I am literally here trying to sit here and save myself. But you know what? Worst case scenario is if I shatter the front glass, then I go out and I go buy the front glass piece.
Yeah.
And just do. I mean, I've already broken it at that point. I might as well just do it. It just means I'll be down without a phone, but I've got one right here that works just fine.
Yeah.
I got one right here that still works just fine. So I have two phones sitting right here that will literally still work just fine to get me by. They're just old.
Yeah.
This could make an interesting polling question for you on what old time or horror type movie theme music should be playing in the background when you do this operation. Like the Jaws theme or something.
Yeah, I know, right? I'll see what I can find, but I am gonna try to do this, make a video while having to do it because several people asked me to record it.
So
Chris, where are you driving tonight?
I'm actually in the same time zone we are. We let's see, 218. I'm about 15 miles west of Youngstown, Ohio, headed for Philly.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna warn you. You got rain coming your way.
I've been in rain since I since I left Iowa today. This morning.
You got a lot of rain today out here in Spring Grove. Yeah.
We didn't literally have rain here until like 7 o'clock at night.
I had about an hour and a half of drive time today that I didn't have any rain. Other than that, it's been raining the whole way. And it's not. I've had solid hard rain, lightning storms. Now it's back to that crap ass where you get just that light drizzle.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad for drizzle in the windshield, but what makes it shitty is all the spray that comes up off the road because of the road being wet, which causes more of an issue than what the actual rain is.
Yeah. Yeah, literally.
But God bless the makers of Rain-X.
Yeah, I use Rain-X on all my cars. But literally, we had like 100-degree temperatures with like probably like 80% humidity all day until like 7 o'clock at night.
Um, uh, there's a couple of Explorer guys. I know Alan was there, JP from JP Videos. They were doing a meetup in Centralia today.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I took out the dog. I'd set my alarm. I took out the dog at like, God, I think 7 this morning. I walked outside and I'm like, nope. I'm glad
I didn't go there because, like, really, you and Alan would be the only ones that I would really want to go up there to go hang out. Who else did you say was up there?
Alan was up there, JP from JP Videos, Adam Tereska, and I think Adam's a really nice guy.
I just don't know him.
Yeah, he was at Gettysburg along with all of us, but
none of that. That's like, you know, they could be nice people, but you know, like when you're not in that circle, you know what I mean? That's not my circle. I mean, you and Alan are in my circle, but like the rest of those people that you hang out with aren't.
Well, I don't care, you know. And the thing of it is, like, I started my channel as a car channel, but you know what? I've always loved sightseeing. I always loved going out and like exploring places. So.
I actually have a video of when I had the green truck. They used to have like 7-foot mounds at both ends of Centralia, so you couldn't get a vehicle onto the road.
Yeah.
I drove the truck up and over those freaking mounds. Literally right up and over them.
Yeah.
And that was when I had the green truck. Like literally, my front tires were on the top of the hill, as my back tires were starting at the bottom of the hill. That's how steep and how tall these hills were. Now, my truck isn't small.
Yeah.
That Ram was a big truck, and yep, it literally you were like this in the truck. You saw nothing but sky.
Yeah.
And then you saw nothing but the road, like literally no sky, no nothing, just asphalt as you were coming down the other side. Yeah, we literally drove the truck right up onto the freaking asphalt, and we went all the way down and popped up and over the other end. No problem whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to go to Centralia. I really want to check that place out, but it was just so
really cool. But the problem is, like anything else that starts getting notoriety, it is nothing to what it was a couple years ago. I went up there from the first time I went up there to that last time that I went up there. It had changed so much just because of human intrusion.
Yeah.
I mean, like when the first time I went up there was tags here and there on the road, but you could still see the road. Now
it's graffiti highway.
Exactly. There is not a spot on that highway that you can still see the original highway.
Yeah.
They have tagged everything.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not even like they're really nice pieces. I mean, there's nobody up there necessarily regulating what people are putting on there. I mean, I wouldn't even say it's family friendly right now.
No, it's dick pics.
Huh?
It's dick pics.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing. Yeah. Like what it was when I first started going.
That's why I wasn't really like that heartbroken. I didn't go today. I was like, you know what? It just.
Which you should be heartbroken.
I'm not gonna go until it's nice and cool. I'm not going on a day like today.
No, and I wouldn't. I would go. That freaking highway is so fucking hot when you get up on it. I mean, you think that it's hot until you start walking in the center of that highway.
Yeah,
it's hot. But the thing is technically it was hotter about 15 years ago when the fire was still underneath.
Yeah.
The fire is now moved on. I mean, that fire will never burn out, but the problem is it's burned what was underneath of that area.
Yeah.
That's why all the foliage has grown back. If you would have went back there a couple of years ago, the ground was so hot underneath that none of the plants would grow.
Yeah.
So literally it was just all open and barren.
Yeah.
But now that the fire has moved on, the plants have grown back, and it's gotten really, But yeah, the problem is like anything else. You go up there now, and it's just there's too many people that don't just go up there and see they have to go up there and leave their mark and fuck shit up. And so it's not. It's I don't know. It's still cool, but it's not the same cool.
That's that way with pretty much anywhere that, you know, that's quote unquote abandoned. You know, and people go to explore, and then, you know, like you said, once word gets out, hey, check this out, you know, then
yeah, you have the
boom,
first.
there you are.
You got people that go in there and literally will just go look at stuff and leave stuff as it is. But then, of course, you have, you know, for every 2 or 3 of the respectful people, you have 6 or 7 nutbags that go up there and smash windows and freaking steal copper.
Exactly.
And, you know,
that's why I like about JP from JP Videos is that he really promotes that, like, you know, go in there, take pictures, take video, but leave things alone.
Is he the one that was doing the ones with Alan in the beginning when Alan first started doing the whatever videos?
What's that?
JP, is he the one that started Alan into doing those?
Well, yeah, Alan met up with him because, you know, Alan's, you know, he had his card obviously and everything, but he really likes the paranormal stuff. He really likes, you know, that, and he got hooked up with JP. And I met JP at Gettysburg. Unbelievably nice guy. Like, I mean, really down to earth, really cool. And Gettysburg was probably one of my favorite videos.
Yeah.
You know, it was just a fun hangout. I wish I would have stuck around for dinner, but I was so worn out at the end of it.
All right.
Because of the heat, you know, and it wasn't even that hot. It was maybe low 80s. And I still was wiped out at the end of that.
All right. Oh. Mrs. Formula, dangerous toxic gases are no longer up there. The thing is that would have been something you had to worry about back when the fire was still underneath of that area. The underground fire has since moved on. You don't really have any of those vapors coming up through the town anymore. Like I said, the way it was 15, 20, 30 years ago is not how it is today. I mean, today it's more of just a Mother Nature taking back what we have neglected.
Yeah.
The most you have to worry about is how much the fire eroded underneath of that road and underneath the town. That you'd have to worry about sinkholes. But I've seen enough big vehicles running down through there. I don't think there's an issue with that.
Yeah.
There was heavier trucks than mine that went down through there.
Yeah. So, well, hey guys, I'm going to hop off. I don't really have an early day tomorrow, but I do have morning shift to do. So,
all right. Well, thank you for joining.
Yeah, great to see you, Sean and Chris.
Life
as
happens.
always, good to see you.
Well, I'm looking at possibly having one more video before YouTube screws me in the ass. So,
yeah.
Hope to see you next week.
What happens, man? You know,
it's always
have your night.
All right, see you guys.
All right, be safe. Peace.
Yeah, I can't remember last time I come up through Centralia area. It's probably 12 years ago.
All right.
Yeah, it's just weird. So, I mean, even the outskirting roads and some of the ridges that you run where you can get the steam and that coming out of the ground because of everything underneath.
But the thing is the main town in that area where it used to be able to come up through the abandoned highway, there's nothing there anymore.
Yeah. What residents are allowed left to live there? I mean, the state pretty much went in and knocked everything else down.
Right, because like I said, the underground fire has moved on. It has burned up what it had there to burn and is now, following that vein.
Yeah, however long it is or how far it's going to go.
Right. So.
And they can't predict it.
No.
Other than the fact, we can't put the fire out. It's going to burn for years, but we have no idea where it's going to end up.
Yeah, it's just going to follow the vein. So it's going to burn wherever that vein is.
Or branch off, depending if it branches anywhere.
Well, that's still the same vein. Just because it branches off, it doesn't mean it's still not the same. It's still the same deposit.
Off the main vein.
So it'll go.
That all started from a trash fire in the dump.
Right, because of a bunch of kids. But yeah. Let's see. I don't know if I have anything else I wanted to talk about. Like I said, if you haven't liked the video, please do. If you happen to catch this video, my next week's video popping up, please be sure to share it to your friends. We need to get this this live stream a little bit bigger. I would really like to see a couple more people in here joining and chit-chatting with us. So get the word out there, man. The more people we have in here, the better the discussions, the better the stream. So thank you guys all for joining. I do appreciate it. I really do. We will see you guys next week, and we'll have to find out what we do from there. It all depends on what I can work out. So till next time, be safe, have fun, get out there and get some work done.